Hey, how's it going guys? My name is Dom and today I'm going to be showing you how to add this search bar to your website using HTML and CSS. Now, we can see here that this search bar is contained within an HTML form, and you have a couple of different options when it comes to what happens when the user clicks or focuses on the input field itself. Right now, I've got it set up to simply display a box shadow behind the entire thing here. But you may also choose to either just change the background color. I'll show you how to do that as well. Or you may even just choose to not do anything at all. So completely up to you as to what you want to do when the user clicks on the search bar. But when it comes to the processing of the form itself and what happens when the user presses enter, that there is going to be completely in your hands. If you would like the user to be redirected to a different page, you can of course do that, or you may also choose to display the results asynchronously down below it, for example. But aside from that, it is a pretty standard search bar. I can type in something like pets as an example, and we can see this is what is going to happen. So pretty self-explanatory. Let me show you how to produce this design here using HTML and CSS. So going inside this tab, let's begin from scratch to, of course, create what I just showed you. And right now, the HTML looks something like this, a simple, empty HTML document, and the same goes for the CSS style sheet. Now, in order to get the search icon on the left of the search bar, we're going to be using Google Material Symbols, which of course is a free icon library which you may use. So I'm going to be leaving this linked down below, but you want to go to fonts.google.com/icons and you'll be presented with this right here. What you want to do is you want to do a search at the top here for the search term. And now we can see we have the search icon right here, which of course we can now use on the website. I can click on this here, and then on the right side, you get instructions for how to use the icon. You want to scroll down to the bottom here until you find the static icon font section and simply copy this link tag and paste it within your head of the document just like this. And now we are ready to use the Google Material icons or symbols. Now going back on that page real quick here, we can see that upon scrolling down a little bit more, we have the usage of the icon. So in a few minutes or very shortly, we're going to be, of course, writing the HTML for the search bar. So I'll come back to this section at that point. But for now, just keep in mind that we can now begin to use those icons on the page. So let's jump into the HTML for the actual search bar itself. We're going to begin by creating a new form just like this. And once again, you can choose to include an action here, also your method if that's what you want to do. I'm going to leave this blank, but of course in your real application, you want to have some sort of action there or whatever it might be. Now within here, we're going to create a new div with a class of search, and this div is going to be the main container for the search bar itself. Within here, you're going to have an icon for the search icon, magnifying glass, and the input field itself. So let's now go back to the Google Fonts website and simply copy what they've got here for the icon HTML, just like this. Go back inside here and paste it. I'm just going to remove all of the extra white space, make it a single line, and that is what it's going to look like. I can save this and go back inside the browser here, and we have something like this. So we have, of course, the icon being rendered, and that all works so far. So let's now move on to including the input field on the page. Let's create a new input here with a type of search. We're going to remove the name and ID. You may need that if you're doing a form submission, up to you again. And we're also going to include a class here of search-input. Now it's also important for the CSS to include a class for the icon as well, to say search-icon, because of course we have the standard Google Material Symbols class name, but you also need to have the search icon class so we can actually apply our own individual styles to the icon itself. But Coming back down to the search input, we can also include a placeholder here of search, and the placeholder is just what gets displayed when the user has nothing on the, or has no input in the input field. So if I save this, go back in the browser here, we get something like this. Okay. Now, that is all when it comes to the HTML for the search bar. We can now move on to the CSS. When it comes to the CSS, we can begin by targeting the class of search. This here is the main container that we saw earlier. Now we're going to begin by giving this a width of max content, and this means that the width of the container is going to be determined by the content within it. In other words, whatever we have as the width for the input field, the container is also going to be that width, or at least it's going to be the icon plus the width of the input field. Okay. We can also give this a display of flex and an align items of center. This here is going to make sure that the icon and the input field are going to be centered horizontally. If I was to inspect this now, we can see upon clicking on the class of search, the main container, it is indeed the width of the elements within it. So that max content did work. And of course they are side by side and aligned perfectly. Okay. Let's go back inside here and apply some more styles. Next up, we have a padding. Let's set the padding to be 14 pixels, as well as a border radius of 28 pixels. So just double the padding. It's going to be up to you guys when it comes to these values as well. And also a background of hash F6, F6, F6. This here is a very, very light gray. Save this back in the browser and we get something like this. Now we can see that of course the padding has been applied to the container and we have the search within that. So now we can move on to styling the search input to of course make it transparent and make it look just like this. Back inside here, let's target the class of search-input and begin by giving this a font size of 16 pixels and your favorite font. I'm going to use Lexend and then fall back to sans serif. Okay, we can now apply a font color of a very dark gray, so 333, as well as a margin left of 14 pixels, the same value as the padding used up here. Let's save this, go back in the browser, and we get something like this. We can see that we have a 14 pixel gap between the search input and the icon itself. And this, of course, is consistent with the padding around the container. It is probably a good idea to convert this value into a CSS variable or property. That way you change it once and it changes in both places. So let's go at the top of the search here and then just say -- padding equal to 14 pixels. This is a CSS property. By itself it does nothing, but you can now use this value in multiple places by simply replacing this 14px down here with the padding and wrapping it within var. So var, open bracket, pass through -- padding, closing bracket, and we can do the exact same thing for the margin left. So replace this 14 pixels with the padding. I'll save this, go back in the browser, and nothing has changed. So we get the same result, but now we can change it once, for example, 24 pixels, and it's going to update in both those areas. Cool. Let's jump down to the search input once again and apply an outline of none, a border of none, and finally a background of transparent. All of these are going to make the input field blend within the container. As you can see, that's what it looks like right now. Very similar to what I showed you at the beginning of this video. I'll just zoom in a little bit more so it looks the same and you can see it better, and there we go. So a few more things to consider here. First off is the width of the input field itself. We can give this, for example, a width of 300 pixels. Once again, up to you guys what you want to do here. Alternatively, you can even make this search input a flex of 1, okay, and then dictate the width by using the search itself. For example, a width of 600 pixels here. If I save, go back in the browser, now the container dictates the width. This is probably going to be useful if you want to have your container within something else that's going to be responsive, etc. But you have this option, or you can go back to setting the width on the input itself. Save this back in the browser and we get something like this right here. Okay, let's move on now to styling the placeholder and the actual icon. So back inside here, let's say search input, then we can say colon placeholder. And here we can now say a color of RGBA 000 and then 0.25. So this colon placeholder targets the placeholder text within your input fields. And we're simply setting this to be a color of a very light or a 25% opaque black. So whatever the background color is of the input field, the container, it's going to blend through the placeholder. So if I save this back in the browser, we get something like this. Just to demonstrate the usage of the RGBA here, if I was to make this a red background instead, we can see that the search placeholder is once again, a 25% opaque black, so the red comes through, on that text there. So that's why we chose to use RGBA right there. And one final thing in regards to this section is going to be another class for the search-icon. So for the icon, we are also going to apply the exact same styling. So now we have that very light gray or that transparent black for the icon as well. Now I did use a different shade. So let me just go back and see what I've done here. Okay, so that was actually meant to be a 0.5 opaque. So save this back in the browser and we get this right here. Okay, so we are done for the most part, but now we can move forward to just a few final touches in regards to when the user clicks on the input field itself. So like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, you got a couple of options. You got the box shadow option or the background color change option. So let's cover the background color change first. It's going to be very straightforward. Firstly, let's set a transition on the search to be background at 0.25 seconds. Then hopping down just a little bit lower here, we can target the search once again. I might just put this a little bit higher. So underneath the search class, we can now say search, then focus within. Focus within means that whenever something within search gets focus, I want to apply these styles to search. In other words, when the user gets or gives focus to the search input, I want to change something else about the search class. So we can say here, background, then we can say F1, F1, F1 for a little bit of a darker gray comparing to the current background. Save this back in the browser. If I was to focus on that, you can see, if you look very closely, there is a background color change on the input field. And of course, it's going to take 0.25 seconds to change due to our transition. Let's see the box shadow alternative. Let's change this transition into box-shadow instead. And then within the focus within, we can give this a box shadow of 002 pixels, then RGBA 000, and then 0.75. Save this back inside the browser here. And now if I focus on the input field, it's going to give us that very subtle box shadow against the container. So that is how to create this search bar using HTML and CSS. If this video helped you guys out and you learned something, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.